The power of we was a way of inclusion, a way of inviting anyone who needed or wanted a place to belong.
It was just very clear to me that this was something that would really benefit the young folks right here.
And to be able to give them a different perspective, that I know where they come from, I know what they're experiencing because I was there too, and letting them know that there's different actions that they can take that'll lead to a different destiny.
We really needed to hear that. In order to change our community, we needed to hear that.
And they are inspired to invest in making it happen. That's powerful.
What's up, guys? Todd Special here, and I'm excited to tell you that I'm going to be one of several extraordinary speakers at an event called The Power of We on April 28th. In Chicago, Illinois, at the Stan Mansion. This event is put on by a brilliant human who loves to touch the lives of every person he comes in contact with, executive producer Lauren Harris. This event is for the kids, so we're going to keep it clean, but we're going to keep it fun and very impactful. So if you're busy on April 28th, get unbusy. If you think this event isn't for you, you are wrong. Guys, join us April 28th at the Stan Mansion in Chicago, Illinois, for probably one of the most powerful events of the year, the power of we.
April 28th, Chicago, Stan Mansion, Power of We. I'll be there and show you. Yeah, that's it, baby. Hey guys, my name is Walt from New York City. We have an amazing event at the Stan Mansion in Chicago. It is called The Power of We, run by my man, my boy, Mr. Lauren Harris. You guys better be there, because I will too, and I hope to see you guys soon. Peace!
there. I didn't even see. Chip, as that Chip, you couldn't hear nothing. See, you know what that means. Thank you, Sherry. Girl, you be on it. Sherry McQueen, super fan. See, that's sleepiness. I forgot to turn on the other thing. I'm just talking away. Well, whatever I said, it was good. I don't remember. You know how it is when you're almost 60. You got to catch that memory within probably, in my case, no more than a minute and a half. It's gone. Way down the road. So, anyway, I was telling you guys how you got to have faith, right? George Michael said it best. Because I was like, what am I going to do? Where am I going to find all these incredible kids when I found that COVID had made everybody quit their jobs or they didn't want to come back to work, something, because nobody in all 6 of the schools that I used in 2018, none of those people were still there. None, not one. So, like I said, the blessing came because, that's when what is greater than kind of leans in and goes, well, what they going to do? They're going to quit? They're going to give up? No. That's when if you were on one knee, get down on both of them. You see what I'm saying? And that's what I did. That's what I did. And thank God, Dr. Walt came through, and then he introduced me to Dr. Chip Johnson. Now, I was about to say, good, I'm glad this came back on, because his name is Harold Chip Johnson. Now, I have a brother, Harold. I don't know what it is about guys whose names are Harold. They always got to find themselves a nickname, right? But I preferably, now see, Harold Johnson, Dr. Johnson, he took nothing, no offense to you Caucasians or Europeans, but that's a white nickname, right? Chip. Hello, my 3 sons, Chip Douglas. The only other Chip I know is Chocolate Chip. Hey, that'd be a good stage name if I was a male exotic dancer. And coming to the stage, Chocolate Chip. No, okay, let me stop. I ain't even met Dr. Chip in person or on the screen, so I better quit before he turns into Will Smith on me. Oh my goodness, if that happened to me at the Power Week, y'all just send my mail to Alaska or something, because I am not coming out. Ooh-wee. Now, you know what I'm saying. I ain't even going there. I'm so sick of hearing about it. But anyway, Dr. Chip Johnson, he's from the South Side of Chicago, and that's another thing I love. He knows these needs better than anybody. Oh, look who I see him in the green room. Now, I'm just going to pop something up on the screen I've already brought up the word Europeans and Caucasians in the same show. I usually split it up, but I'm just, listen, look at this. I want y'all to understand what just happened here so that, you can be a part of our culture. So here's what I want to show you. Now, y'all may not be aware of this, but it's a real thing. I have found this in the Urban Dictionary so y'all can understand why we're a little late today. Do you see what's on the screen? That is the definition of something called CP time. Yes, that's when us people of color say, what does it say? Oh, the party started at 6. Well, I'll be there at 7:30 because right? I'm just playing. I had to mess with them. But it's a real thing, clearly. Anyway, that's the bell of purpose. Did it look like I slipped and hit the bell? Did the bell come over here? I was like, look at that bell. Let me hit it. No, it's called the bell of purpose because I use it on purpose. It is not. Listen in. It is not a clever gimmick. It is not a show prop. It is a reminder. It's an opportunity because just like that bell has a ring to it, so does the truth. And when you hear the truth, I know y'all be doing all kind of stuff, peeling potatoes, doing your fingernails, putting on them big old cow eyelashes, all that stuff while you're watching the show. So I hit the bell when okay, don't miss this. Put it in the trunk. Take it home with you. Truth. And be purposeful in all you do. Let your yays be yays and your nays be nays. Now they're here. So that Dr. Chip, my God. Wait a minute. I just noticed they both have Grammy in their bios. Dr. Chip. Okay, they doing too much. Let me just get them in here because you know what? You guys, I'm so excited. We have 287 kids coming on the 28th, and the lion's share of them come from between these two gentlemen here. And I'm going to tell you something. Whatever you're doing in purpose and you're doing it on purpose, don't get scared if it don't look like it's going to work. Like I said, if you're on one knee when you see it looking crooked, put the other knee down and say a prayer. I'm telling you, God will do it. Won't he, though? Here's proof, because here they come. Dr. Chip, Walt, Johnson, Whitman. See how I did that? Mm. Well, well, well. Well. Man, Dr. Chip, unmute yourself. You look like you look like somebody off one of them shows, Blackish or one of them. You look like a television star.
Well, you know, Lauren, I did come into the office at this ungodly hour. Usually I'm in my bathrobe at this time too.
Oh,
you got me dressed for the day.
I'm so glad you're here, and thank you for stepping up. And I only got dimples too, y'all. See that? And
you see that? That's it.
Dimple people know how to use them because dimples usually come in 2 or 3 layers, so they can do the light dimple. When they really want to get something, they make them deep. You know, I know. I studied it. Dr. Walt, how are you?
I'm good. Good morning to you too.
Turn your volume up a little. I done knocked him out of the thing. Look at that. Where'd he go?
Did you knock him out?
Yeah, there he is. Sorry. That was that. I wasn't pulling a Will Smith. Sorry. I know. I can't talk about it.
Oh, that's better, Walter. I can hear you now.
Say something, Dr. Walt.
Can you hear me now?
Yes. There we go.
Okay.
There we go. You guys, both. Let's start with that. Both of you have Grammys. Jubilee. What, Doctor? I saw Dr.
Now let me just correct you right quick, Lauren. I don't have a Grammy.
But the group had a Grammy.
I was a member. I'm a member of the National Association of Recording Arts and Sciences, NARAS, the group that votes to award the Grammys. Now, Walter may have a Grammy. I don't have one.
Oh, I see the connection. So you're the one. Oh,
I'm the one that votes for Walter to get a Grammy.
I was gonna say, ain't that called nepotism? See, the nepotism. Okay, y'all know I have a 6-syllable rule. No words with more than 6 syllables on Bathrobe Moments. That's just a warning. That's just a warning, you two. But listen, we're so glad you guys are here. Look behind you. You see some of the kids peeking out there. And I just wanted to, everybody's so excited you guys are here. Thank you for stepping up. And you brought us some wonderful, wonderful, wonderful kids to the Power. We took care of that big old problem because I was saying before you got in here, everything had flipped due to COVID. So I was a little worried, but God said, through my spirit, keep going. And he knew you two were already on the way. So thank you for that. Dr. Chip, why don't you start? Just give us a little Reader's Digest version of where little Chip got started and why you have dedicated your life to these kids and all of that. So let's go. It's all you.
So I'm going to tell you, I started prior to education. I was still a professional musician, and just working to have a great life through music. Matter of fact, I did start years ago early with the Soul Children of Chicago. I played for Walter's group for some years. I won't say for some years, maybe 2 years, Walter. But whenever he needed the anthems and things like that, when he was starting before they became really popular and large, he was still dedicated. Walter's been dedicated today, just as he was at the very beginning. So I was one of his musicians at that time.
Wow.
I hail from the Trinity United Church of Christ. Dr. Wright is my pastor. Then later on, I went to play for different other Reverend Johnny Coleman. I was her assistant minister of music at the Christ Universal Temple, and then I ended up at the Apostolic Church of God, where I currently am. I served under Bishop Arthur Brazier and my current pastor, Dr. Byron Brazier. But during that time, I also traveled with 2 groups. One was the Shirley Wall Singers. The other was the Dolores Barrett Campbell Singers, sisters, Dolores Barrett Campbell and the Barrett sisters. And I was happy to be able to travel around different parts of our world with them singing gospel music. Shirley, on the other side, did some jazz and gospel and spirituals. So it was really a great time traveling the world and doing things and playing for other people. I hail from Fisk University, so I started my degree at Fisk. I'm a Fisk Jubilee singer, and ended up.
I got accepted there.
Oh, really?
I applied to. Yep.
Wow. Okay. Good. She's going now. She's going. She's there now.
No, I was going there.
Oh, you were.
When I aged out of the foster care system, I think that was my second school that I chose after USC. Mm-hmm.
You would have been my Fisk brother. I would have loved to have
I
seen
know. Well, here we are. Wow.
But anyway, prior to after that, I ended up, serving in the music capacity. But Lauren, I ran into a problem. I became a drug addict. Now, I'd always been smoking reefer and all that kind of stuff when I was 14 and everything. And, you grew up. But anyway, my last drug of choice was crack cocaine. And that took me all the way down.
Me too.
I had nothing. I had nothing. I lived didn't have a home to live in. I ended up being beat with a bat and almost killed and things like that. But God was faithful. So I ended up in treatment at Haymarket House. That was down there on Skid Row before Oprah changed it into near North. Okay, with her studio. And I got myself together, lived there for 33 days. And then God blessed me to live in the halfway house for over a year and a half. While there, I started a choir for Catholic Charities and ended up going to the White House with the choir to showcase them. And later on, Catholic Charities came and offered me a job as procurement director. So I worked as procurement director for Catholic Charities for about 3.5 years.
Now that's something right there. You would never believe that because I was in procurement in the Air Force, but those crack addiction, or I'll just say crackhead and procurement, you would never see those two things you would think going together. But that's what God will do. What you think won't happen, you can get to change your heart in a minute. Keep going. That's right. And so after that, I got kind of tired of procurement because, that just continues to evolve. You have to keep on pushing. Mm-hmm. So I got tired of that, and I left that industry there in Catholic Charities. So did a great work for me in my life, and ended up asked to come teach for the Chicago Public School System. And I chose a friend of mine, Pat Johnson, asked me would I go over to Crane High School to teach, which I reluctantly declined. And I said, no, I'm not going over there to the west side. I'm not doing nothing. But anyway, ended up going over to Crane, falling in love with students and falling in love. I told the parents my story, and they kind of had to shape up when they would come see me for parent teacher conference, because they said, well, he was on that stuff, so he knows I'm smoking. He know I'm drinking. So they would be very careful, but I kind of was able to get them in line. Ended up going to John Hope College Prep High School in Inglewood and working with them, where I stayed for 12 years. While there, I was able to acquire 2 master's degrees, and then later on left there and came out here where I am at Southland in 2010 to start the Southland College Prep Charter High School. And under the leadership of Dr. Blondine Davis, who's still here as a CEO and the superintendent of District 162. I stayed out here for 2 years and started the school. We started in the building of Huth Middle School in the hallway, and then later Dr. Davis bought the school where we presently are, rehabbed the call center that belonged to Prudential Life, and in just 12 years has built this school with many classrooms, built a stellar performing arts center, and then a stellar full-size gymnasium with track, all that kind of thing, and with the ability to even turn it around and make it a theater. So we're out here now. So I stayed here, and then I went back to the city, Chicago. They asked me to come back in a leadership position. So I came back as a deputy network chief of schools, where I managed about 26 schools on the west side. Then later went to the north side, managed about 14 high schools. Then later became chief of schools. One of my dear friends, and she got into a little problems, but she's still a dear friend of mine, Barbara Bird Bennett, superintendent, CEO of Chicago Public Schools, promoted me to chief of schools, where I managed 36 schools in the center of the city in Network 6. And then prior to that, when Dr. Janice Jackson, my former boss, came in as a CEO, I was asked to come and serve as Janice Jackson. Yes. Miss Jackson, if you're nasty.
Where?
Miss Jackson, if you're nasty. That's what Janet Jackson said in her song.
No, I said Janice, not Janet.
I know. It's morning show TV. Hello, I got to get it where I can get it. Okay? Look, I got to cut him.
I don't know what Janet Jackson said in her song. Look. All right.
Look,
well, Lord.
What?
So then I retired in CPS as the chief officer of family and community engagement. And then when Dr. Davis found out I was retiring, she asked me to come back to serve as her executive assistant. So this is where I sit at Southland College Prep High School, charter high school, with a membership of students of about 632, and doing some stellar work, stellar fine arts program, choir, dance, band, tap dancers, wonderful academic program, great special education program. And I'm happy to say I was even able to get Dr. Walter Whitman to come over and help one of our schools on the elementary side at Huth Middle School to really produce our Christmas show. And he had a great performance with the Huth Middle School choir. So that's my story.
Well, and you're going to stick to it too. I can already tell. Now I know now. Okay, you guys, get ready to get schooled. Get ready to get schooled in 3, 2, 1. So you know about the CP time. Now you know why the Oscars have that music they play when people, get their award. Dun, 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 dun. Okay, I'll just look at Walt. He's like, I know he didn't. Dr. Walt, like you itching. Come on up, Dr. Walt Whitman, and talk about, and we're going to come back to the school and the 200 kids. I want to find out how you're selecting which 200 out of the 6-something get to come to the Power Week. But Dr. Walt Whitman, you booked the first 30 kids. And who are they? Oh, wait, is that them peeking out behind us? Talk about it. Welcome to the show, Dr. Walt. And you really did get the Grammy with them and Three Doors Down. Talk about this choir. Happy 40th anniversary. And just let me tell y'all this, because, there's a black van parked at the corner. And I think Dr. Walt sent them because there was a post-it note on my door that said, read this or move, which says, celebrating 40 years, they are the nation's oldest internationally acclaimed Grammy Award-winning youth choir, still standing. And then somehow they highlighted this: no scandals and no splits. And still,
well, amen.
Amen. That's no easy feat, is it, Dr. Walt?
No, and amen. And my friend over here with in fact, I'm learning some things with Dr. Chip myself just today. That we came a whole long way for it. Yes, so it's great to be on your show. Thank you, Lauren, for inviting us, and it's been a pleasure. It's a pleasure.
I'm glad you're here, you guys. Real quick, because I want everybody to. I had this ready. I've been playing the mess out of this one here, and I'm still gonna play it again. I want you guys, because Walt, remember I kept trying to tell you about that note you hit in the song, and I was like, there's one part that you have that I really love. You guys, I wanted to give you just another taste. I know there's some people watching right now that have not seen this, so we're going to listen to just a little bit of it. My favorite, this really is. I just love it. He said they've only done the song once. Take a look. You get to see Dr. Walt in action. Watch this, y'all.
Praise the Lord, everybody! Are y'all expecting something in this place? Let the high expectation people begin to give up the praise. Come on, because a miracle is getting ready to happen in this house. Somebody that wants it, you better get excited about your miracles. Shout like you understand. Y'all ready? Look at myself expecting. I'm expecting. We're gonna take your old school.
That's my jam.
Y'all remember that? I can see. Y'all remember that? Somebody get out. We got some folks that are ready for this. Here we go. The sky is the limit. That's the limit. Let's go. Let's go. The sky is the limit.
That's the one. Sky is the limit.
I know some of y'all that know, remember this. Just believe. God will. Really. somebody scream.
Okay, because I watched the whole thing. Y'all already I watched the whole thing. So listen, that was that note. Yeah. Yeah. Move. Yeah. You guys, April 28th, you don't want to miss it. You'll be able to watch at home if you are so inclined, or reclined, as the case may be. But it still will not be the same as if you were there with us, and that's where he wants. But I want to switch real quick. We're going to take that short break so that I can make sure I stay on the air. And when we come back, I'd like to talk to both of you about some of the challenges that you feel, that you deal with, that the kids deal with, and why it's so important. Because I want people to understand that, I refer to the power of we as an anointed experience. And it truly is. Lives are changed. Many of you watching have been to one or both of the previous Power of We's, and you know what I'm talking about. But we want to get the inside scoop now, the things that we don't get to see, those things that we don't get to hear about what's going on in the lives of these young people. And that's what the Power of We is all about, giving them a place where they have not been placed on mute. And we're there as adults and supporters to listen and to pour into them. We'll be back in just a moment. Don't you dare go away.
The Power of We was a way of inclusion, a way of inviting anyone who needed or wanted a place to belong.
It was just very clear to me that this was something that would really benefit the young folks right here.
And to be able to give them a different perspective, that I know where they come from, I know what they're experiencing because I was there too, and letting them know that there's different actions that they can take that'll lead to a different destiny.
We really needed to hear that. In order to change our community, we needed to hear that.
And they are inspired to invest in making it happen. That's powerful.
Hello. I have a question for you. Have you ever felt completely lost? Seeking purposeful direction that could and should propel your mission within your divine journey to that next level, but still it hasn't happened. Well, my name is Lauren Michaels Harris, and I'm the founder of P3, the Journey Series. People come to me because they're wounded. Many are scared, and even there are those who are bruised simply because they feel that they are increasingly, for whatever reason, losing their ability to dream. Now, this P3 program is not for a person who's just looking to start a business, no, but rather for those of you out there who have been on your journey and you've been navigating within your divine purpose, but you still desire to elevate to that level that you have not reached yet. If this is appealing, if this describes you, then I want to have a chat with you. I want to hear your story. So use the link below to get registered for your free seat at P3, the Journey Series. And let's get started, one story at a time. I'll see you inside. Click the link.
Okay, welcome back to today's installment of Bathrobe Moments. I'm your host, Lauren Michaels Harris. And before we get both of the doctors back in, I've got something that the doctor ordered. Yes, it did. Sometimes small shifts make big changes. One of mine last year was to ditch the Diet Coke in anything that I drank that didn't serve me. I replaced it with this. And it's not just because they pay me. I actually love V8 for a number of reasons. Here's three of them. 100% pure vegetable juice from concentrate, only 60 little calories in every one of these babies, and two servings of vegetables in every can. Don't wait until it's too late. Pop the top and say, I'm glad I had my V8. Easy to find. Head down the juice aisle into your local grocer. In my store, it's right next to the Kool-Aid boxes. Go figure. Get yours today. Welcome back, gentlemen. Welcome back. There you go. I used to think V8 was an old people's drink. Well, I'm drinking it. So listen, I would like, let's do round robin here. Let's start with you, Dr. Chip. You got a lot of kids there. What would you say to people out there? What do you think is the most common misconception around our inner city youth leaders? That's what I refer to them all as. today. Because then you know how the news, and that's what started the power of we. I got tired of only seeing the negative on the news and stuff. They just love to latch onto it. And then these kind of kids that we see behind you, we don't hear anything about. Talk about that if you could.
Right. You know, one of the things, let me just say the philosophy that we have here at Southland, and this was not mine, but this was adopted by Dr. Davis when we started Southland College Prep Charter High School. And it says we can, whenever we choose, successfully teach all children whose schooling is of interest to us. We already know more than we need to. We already know more than we need to do that. Whether or not we do it must finally depend on how we feel about the fact that we haven't so far. That's powerful.
That is powerful.
That's powerful. And that was by Ron Edmonds. And I'm gonna tell you, the problem that I see a lot today is that instead of us being in a position to empower the children and to feed into the children, to teach the children, to love the children, we have become scared of the children. And so we keep them at bay because we want to come in, lock them out of our homes, lock them out of our cars, lock them out of our schools sometimes, with suspensions and expulsions and things like that. This is where we have come as a society, where even our parents, sometimes you come into the schools and instead of them having a serious conversation with the child, they want to have a serious conversation with the teacher and tell the teacher what to do. Well, it's almost like going to the doctor's office and saying, I don't have cancer. Let me show you what I have. Okay. Well, if you can do better than what the doctor is, then don't come to
Don't go to the doctor.
Exactly. Right. So what we have to do is to kind of reverse the cycle of where we used to be, where the children are now scared of the adults, or at least have the respect for the adults like they should have before. So what do I see in a lot of our school systems is that we treat them with kid gloves. And I'm gonna tell you, we've been also hand blocked sometimes by policies that are not governed or are not developed by us.
Yeah.
Okay. But are put in our neighborhoods. Like, for instance, the inability to discipline a child, not even in school, but not even in your home. Okay. Where the child has the right to call DCFS and all that. You remember the old phrase that we grew up with, Lauren and Walter. I brought you into this world.
I'll take you out.
Okay. It almost happened several times.
Right. But now we got children calling the police on the parents, and the police taking the parents to jail because they want to discipline their children. We have to kind of reverse this. And so these are the kind of things that we're having to happen in our school systems. And it stems from the home. So some kind of a way, we have to start to empower our families, teach our women how to be women, teach them how to really respect themselves again. Because, back in the day, your daddy may have come home drunk. Mine didn't drink, but your daddy may have come home drunk. But the mother kept the family together.
Yeah.
She understood what happened. She understood what was going on. Don't worry about your daddy. I'll take care of your daddy. You take care. But now the mamas are coming home drunk. They're coming home high. So everybody in the house can be drunk or high. And the child is there left to fend for themselves.
To raise themselves.
We have children who are supposed to be in high school and supposed to be in high schools on time, but they can't get there on time because they got to take their young brothers and sisters to school. So it puts them farther behind because they miss first period, they fail first period, they miss graduation requirements, things like that. It's a lot going on. We have to decide just how much as educators, how much as a Black people, as a brown people, even as a white people, how much we are willing to take before we can bring it back in and reel it back in where we're able to train our children. You'll hear more from Walter, but Walter has a very structured program. It's not only that they're good singers, they do they're wonderful recording artists and things like that. But Walter has a discipline structure. He has a respect structure.
Yeah.
He has a structure that he doesn't tolerate all of that stuff that they want to bring in from their other organizations or their homes and things like that. If you can't abide by the policies of what we set in place for the Soul Children of Chicago, Inc., or copyrighted or trademarked, then you go find somewhere else.
Right.
So we have to bring back those structures, and this is what I'm glad that we have here at Southland College Prep. Those kids in those blazers, I had to look and see, were those our kids? I said, no, those are Walter's kids. We have the same uniform. Our seniors wear the maroon blazers. Our juniors wear blue blazers. Our sophomores wear blue sweaters, and our freshmen wear maroon sweaters. So they evolve, but there's a structure here, and we have a great social emotional learning program. We don't have all of the discipline issues that other high schools have. You know why, Lauren? Because we don't tolerate it.
See,
and we put it in place. We put the structure in place. It's a charter high school. We bring in our kids by lottery. All you have to do is fill out an application. You get a number, and we just had our lottery. We took in about maybe how many did we take in? We took in about 106 applicants this time for the freshman class, and they're selected by the drop of a ball. So they don't come to us, with gifted programs and geniuses.
Where they feel less than if they don't get in.
Exactly. If you come with special needs, you get in if your number hits. If you come as a genius above your benchmark grade point average, you get in. We have to teach above, and we have to teach beneath, and then we have to teach through the special ed cycle as well. We offer those supports. That's awesome. We're a charter high school that really has evolved and has really excelled to meet the needs of all children. And that's what we need to be willing to do. You will see more of the wonderful influence that we've had on them when they come to the Power of We.
I can't wait. We're so excited about your kids. And we've got people that are coming specifically this year because they have scholarship programs, internships, and they want kids who care and want to do their best. And so I'm so happy that you all are bringing exactly what the doctor ordered. Speaking of, right. Dr. Walt, tell us a little bit about 40 years.
I'm losing sound. I'm losing the sound.
You are? Probably because
I'm losing sound from you all. I can't hear you.
That's because you dropped the phone 5 times.
I'm on my cell phone because my laptop won't take you. But
I know. Well, I'll try. Okay, you might as well get used to it. So, would you like some Jell-O? Okay, hear me now?
I don't know what's going on, but it's like it was loud and now it's soft. Let me
turn your volume up. Maybe that'll help.
Wait a minute.
Your volume thing.
But I don't know. This might turn it off.
Oh, you got softer.
I can
get softer. Let me see.
Can y'all hear me? Can you hear me now?
Let me see. Can y'all hear me?
Can you hear me?
We can hear you.
But I can barely. I got you. But I can barely. Put your head back in the picture. Put your head back in the picture.
Oh, I'm sorry. I couldn't. I was laying
there
it down in front of the speaker. But can you hear me clearly?
Yeah, just do it like you just did it.
Okay. Can you hear me now? This is Verizon.
Right. Yeah. So I want to ask you. Why do I hear an echo?
Because you're probably hearing it from my. Are you hearing it? You're hearing the echo from me?
Probably.
Hold on. Well, see, I can't. I'm trying to do it on my speaker, but it's not. Okay. Take this off.
There you go. We hear you now.
Leave it the way you leave it. Like, say something. Nah, it unfroze. Is that here? Nope. Now, and Dr. Chip, you just muted yourself.
I just had to answer my phone for a minute.
Oh, okay. My bad. I thought, Lord, it's contagious. So
Walter's frozen.
He done froze. That you see.
Walter, why don't you click off and come back in?
Yeah, do that. Mm-hmm. So while we're waiting on Dr. Walt, let's do this. Talk about I know. Let's go over here.
You know what, Lauren? If I can, let me just share something with you. I just want you to just see just a snippet of what we do here with Southland. Okay. If you don't mind, I'm going to share my screen. Okay?
Go ahead. Tech savvy.
Yeah. Go ahead. I want to share my screen, and so that you can see here. All right. All right. Here we go. Entire screen. All right. So I'm going to come here. Can you see that?
I see it down there. Let me add it. There.
Okay. Now, this is our orchestra program, our full concert band.
Okay.
This is Ron Harrigan directing them. I just wanted you to see that.
Yeah.
These are our dancers.
Oh my goodness.
This just shows you what we do in our fine arts program out here at Southland.
Look at that.
And this is in the full-size gym that we turned into a theater and stage.
Oh my goodness.
I'll share the link if anybody wants to see it. And these are another group. That's our dance program. And as you scroll forward, you will see our choir program.
Oh.
Fred Nelson is one of our music directors. He is the former music director of Aretha Franklin.
Okay.
And Jennifer Hudson. That's the choir. I'm just going forward so you can see a little bit more. And then this is the jazz band.
Wow.
Yeah, so we have a plethora. This is our string program here. So you see how widespread our fine arts program is.
Yes, very diverse and well-rounded.
Exactly. This is our choir again. You saw them earlier, but this is a Negro spiritual that they did. Okay, come on. Here we go. This is Elizabeth Norman directing. She is from Chicago Symphony Orchestra and Lyric.
Wow.
So that's the choir, and this is our tap dance program here.
Uh-oh. Wow.
So I just wanted to just show you a little bit of that, what we were about. I'm gonna stop sharing.
Yes. Thank you for that. Put some hearts on the screen, you guys. You know talent, you know entertainment when you see it. So let's talk about, now we've seen that side, the arts and entertainment, if you will. Let's talk about the academic side. What about, let's talk about, a lot of people, you know how test scores are. And I know this is the time of year where those standardized testings and things, how important is that to a charter school?
You know what I'm going to tell you, it's very important to us. It's very important right now to any school in the nation. We have addressed it head on, because what we do is we offer tutorial programs through a program that we have here at the school called Academic Approach, which shares our students with the ability to be tutored and mentored by those who are specialists in their core content areas. Right now, of course, you know, English and literature and language, that's always pretty much the easier side. And some of our students score best on those standardized tests in the English and literature content areas. But the math always seems to lag behind and suffer. So we have brought in tutors to specifically teach to the deficient skills of students in math. So we pull students out according to their level of deficiency, and we put them together, cluster them together in tutoring programs. So we have a tutoring program, 45 minutes a day, 4 days out of the week, that we pull them out. And it actually is connected to the academic approach, which is tied to teaching the skills that are required on the SAT. All right.
Okay.
We also teach our students, I should say, tutor our students in the ACT arena, even though most schools now are not requiring the ACT. They're requiring the SAT, right? But now you have even other colleges who don't even require tests at all, but you can offer them the data if you've taken the SAT, which might give them a different perspective on your academic abilities as they enter into college. But that's how we do it. And so we have we bring in all in the charter school. I'm gonna tell you, I applaud what we do here with the instructors, because most charter schools do not require teachers to have a certificate. They can come in based on their desire to want to teach, or whatever case may be. But we require all of our teachers to have a Illinois issued teaching certificate. They have to have their student teaching. They have to have the ability, and they have to have the knowledge and the skill base, how to create a lesson plan, how to create the scope and sequence, how to follow the curriculum, how to teach with differentiated skills to different, because everybody doesn't learn. It's the days of standing before children and teaching to the whole class. That's over. Everybody has their IEP, an individual education plan, and on the special ed side as well. So we are more attentive now to making sure that our children are receiving just what they need. You know, teaching has become like a prescription, and it's just like going to the doctor. The doctor knows exactly what pill you need for this high blood pressure, stomach ailments, feet, neuropathy, whatever case may be. And in that, they take that and prescribe that medicine that will help you get through the day and through your life, right? It's the same thing with teaching now. You have to understand, well, just exactly what is it that they don't understand in English? Do they know how to read and write, or do they know how to just read? That way we have to teach writing. Do they? Yeah, exactly. Do they know how to create sentences and things like that? So we keep doing that. And then even with math, do they instruct? Do they know how to instruct and things like that? So it is really, there you go, essay writing contest. We have some great ones. And I'm gonna tell you, which I didn't show you, we just scored highest in the state with our speech team. They did a rendition of Toni Morrison's The Bluest Eye, and they came in second place in the state.
Wow.
And we call it forensics, but it's really speech.
Okay.
And so we've done a great job in really just making sure that when these children come in, when they come in their freshman year, they're getting exactly what they need. And so we make sure we are really looking at them in all core content areas. And it shows, because I'm going to tell you, every one of our seniors at the end of the year receives a scholarship to college. Every single one.
Every single one.
We have over now about maybe $100 million that has been offered to Southland students in scholarships.
Yay.
It's a great program.
So let me ask you, because you just got this. This is our essay writing contest. And our winner from Atlanta, she ended up getting a $750,000 endowment to make that idea that she had in her 1,000-word essay become a reality. So let me ask you, first of all, so we're excited that your students, you're going to get this in front of them ASAP, I hope.
Yeah, we will. Yeah.
And then we're going to have also a pitch fest, like a Shark Tank thing. You'll be getting that Friday. Tomorrow, you'll get that in your inbox. And that winner, we just signed the deal with the two companies. The winner, the teams of up to 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 people. 3 will be chosen to present to the Sharks. And the winners will receive a package to take that idea and push it over the beginning, the starter's pistols line. And the value is around $50,000 for that package. A 6-month mentoring program comes with it. It's going to be great. So let me ask you something. How are you guys? What's the vetting process? I'm always interested in that. How they did it. It was very interesting in Atlanta, how they used it as an incentive program. And they had like a walkabout thing in the school where they put different pictures of young people throughout history that have made a difference in the world, Malika and all those, to get them geared up for the power of we. How are you going about at Southland choosing which students will come to the power of we? I'm just interested.
Well, we're looking at our freshmen and sophomores here at the high school.
Okay.
Those who have come in with the abilities to really want to move forward in their careers, and they're letting us know now. We haven't fully selected the kids yet, Lauren, but those who are interested, we're going to look at those who have the grade point averages within the median range. We're not looking at all of the high level grade point averages.
Right.
So we're looking for those who have the mid-level grade point averages as well. And we're going to use this as an incentive program. Talk to them about what they expect to get out of it. What are their expectations in life? We may have them even write an essay. I'm working with Robert Lane, who is our college and career specialist, who is the one who was responsible for Southland getting over $100 million in scholarships throughout the years that he's been serving in that position. And then on the elementary side, on the District 162 side, we're going to make it an incentive. And I haven't talked to the principals of Huth yet, Huth in Illinois. They will be the ones that we're choosing to send those 100. So I'm going to ask them to develop a program to bring the best students that will be highlighted at the Power of We, because some of those will be coming to Southland, those who may have gotten accepted through the lottery, and some may be going to other schools. But however, they get a great education from pre-K through eighth grade through 12th grade here in this section of the city. And we're located in Richton Park. We serve Olympia Fields, Park Forest, and other surrounding south suburbs.
There may be some kids, Dr. Chip, that were at the original one, because South Richton, or what is it, South
Richton Park.
Richton. They brought 100 and some kids.
Oh wow, yeah. I'm not sure if that was our district though.
Oh, Richton. Okay, so see, okay. So let me ask you. So you're saying mainly middle school and high schoolers?
Right. Exactly.
Right, perfect.
We're going to have we'll have high schoolers in the freshman and sophomores grades, and then the eighth graders from two of our middle schools.
Okay, so let's say, so you know about this the Shark Tank thing. I thought this would be a great thing to throw in. This is the first time, so it's going to be really interesting. I'm watching very closely because I thought, the science-minded, the entrepreneurial person that, they all, the kids go to a lot of different things, but they hardly ever get to do something like this. Do you think your kids will respond and throw their hat in the ring for either or both of these contests that we have?
Yeah, that's what we're going to push. We're going to, especially those the essay writing, and that our kids are used to performing. Okay, not only in the fine arts but in the academic arena as well. So our kids, they are some stellar kids. It is really nice to come out to a school and really have this type of setting where you don't have to worry about students bringing guns in or fighting in the building and things like that. We've had maybe 3 fights all this whole year, and they were minor fights. Sometimes we have to get on our girls, with all that they're doing. But yeah, we don't have all of that. So we really push them to excel in academics, in sports, and in the fine arts. Now we're working on our teams. We're working on our sports teams. We haven't gotten there yet. All right. But I'm going to tell you, they got a full court to practice on. So in the next 2 to 3 years, we should be stellar in sports too.
I'm so excited about what you guys are doing out there, because I've spoken at so many schools where the kids, when you're talking to them afterwards, and here, I live in Naperville, and kids will come all the way from the city. There's a couple boys that come every year, and then they call me when they're at the train station. I pick them up and drive them around. They sell candy so that they can play sports.
Yeah,
at public school. They have to, instruments and things like that. These kids have to earn their instrument, earn their shoulder pads by selling candy and things. And I'm gonna tell you something. Listen to this, okay? Because I'm here in Naperville. True story. What used to be a screen door when we were kids, it's an all glass door at our house, right? So it was open. And I heard the doorbell ring, and then I got up and went, and the 2 boys I'm talking about were way down by the street. And I was like, I saw them backing up, and I was like, why y'all way down there? They said, well, because you never know. Out here, a lot of people are threatened when they see a black kid at their door. I said, but the door's clear. You saw me coming. And they said, because people have let dogs out on us or pulled a bat from behind. I said, but you saw it was me. You saw I'm a person of color. Why'd you keep going? They said, those are the main ones that let the dogs out on us.
Right. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And I had no idea.
Exactly. Right.
So that really got my mind like, man, we really don't know what these kids, a lot of us, we just assume what these kids are dealing with. You'd be shocked if you knew. I just want to say this. We're going to go over today, everybody, in case you got to get to work or something. We're going to end right around 7 minutes after, so just know that. We started a little late, but this is important. So, everything else can wait as far as I'm concerned. I'd like to ask you this. What about the parents? I used to hear anyway, when I was doing the actual going to the schools and doing all that stuff, a lot of the teachers and the counselors would say, the kids are great, but sometimes our biggest challenge comes from home, where the parents won't support what we are trying to do. How do you at Southland incorporate what the parents need to do to make sure that everything you're laying out there can have a fair chance of being successful without them getting in the way?
Well, let me just share with you that Dr. Blondine Davis comes from Chicago Public Schools for many years of service. She was actually the number 2 person under Paul Vallis's administration back in the 90s. And she and I have served in different capacities and also in the same capacities. Okay. I just never took it to a superintendent level, but I've worked pretty much as a sub-superintendent in school districts. But one thing I want to just share with you is that Dr. Davis has implemented a model here where she communicates readily and consistently with the parents. We are a school where the students are bused, right, in the communities. We don't have the public transportation system like the city does. So we have to depend on school buses to pick up kids. Yes. It doesn't matter if that school bus is late, if it's running behind, or whatever case may be. There's a robocall that goes out to the parents that morning to let them know that the bus is running late. Whatever programs or events or academic testing and things like that, there's a robocall that we do. Dr. Davis, if you go on YouTube and Google Southland College Prep Charter High School, you will see the many videos that she, as a CEO of the charter school and superintendent of the elementary school district, she communicates consistently with the parents. So she's always telling them what's going on, how we're doing it, what the expectations are, what we require from the parents. She does it so much that she has trained the parents to understand what the children need to do. So whatever the children need to do, the parents support Dr. Davis in making sure that they're implementing the programs and the requirements and the ask that Dr. Davis has put out on video. She is a constant communicator, so much so that we have not had any type of resistance from parents when we're asked to what are we going to do about masks? We have them here, all right? And when I go out of my office, I'm putting this on because we are not a mask optional school. Our parents support the fact that Dr. Davis says until we can get a hold on this and until we can get some stability here, we're going to remain masked during the day in our schools. She has gotten the approval from her board on the 162 side and the approval of the board on the charter school side. She serves 2 boards. Right. And with that, whatever Dr. Davis says, the parents applaud, they agree, and they support. But that is because communication. So we have no problems. It doesn't matter if they get suspended, if they come against a policy or discipline infraction that comes across, which we have a very low suspension rate, and we try not to suspend them either. But if they do, the parents are brought in. They understand if there's a mediation, the parents are in that. So it's being able to constantly communicate. The reason our parents get so frustrated is because people want to implement things that concern their children and concern what they're doing in school during the day and don't let them know. All parents want to do is know what you're doing. Right. And then, of course, if they have a disagreement, you have opportunities to come up and discuss that disagreement. But if you see that everything that we're doing is doing positive things in the building and for your child, you don't have any other reason but to support it. What we do is that we constantly inform our parents with everything. And that is what is needed in all of our schools. Let the parents know they are your children during the day, but they got to go home to the parents at night.
There you go.
And all they want to do is let them know.
There you go. Look who's back and unfrozen. Oh, we was talking about you. No, I'm playing. Dr. Walt, I held it over a little bit. We're going to go probably till 15 after today, if that's okay. I wanted to ask you to explain this structure that has worked so well, this template, if you will, this model that has allowed, I would imagine 40 years, the kids you have now may have had a parent who was in the choir, who may have had a parent who was in that choir. And what does that feel like when you go, you Sharika's grandson, right? Does that ever make you feel a little old? I'm kidding.
No, we're not dealing with grandchildren. Now,
Not yet.
Children. We ain't got the grandchildren.
You ain't got that.
That's a whole nother generation. I'll be here for another generation.
There you go. Talk about how you have done it. How have you kept this so tight and so very successful for 40 years?
Well, one of the things that happened, I was in the school system. I used to teach in the school system, in the Catholic school system. And people like Chip Johnson, who got all of these principles that they work with in reference to what works and what don't work. I just remember when I first started teaching, one of the teachers told me not to smile at the kids for the first 6 months. He says, make them think you mean. And he says, and you'll have them for the rest. I mean, they'll call you Mr. Whitman for the rest of your life. And that is what has happened. People still call me Mr. Whitman when they started in 1981, because you set that precedence of structure. And that's what I like what Dr. Johnson was talking about, that structure. And the Soul Children has a structure that has been there since the beginning. And so anybody that comes inside of the Soul Children has to fall in line with that structure. So there's an ambiance, there's an environment. Mm-hmm. Of course, they got people that always want to try it. They want to try, see if they can break out of it. Yeah. But as long as you keep a clamp on it, and even with the times, even this as recent as this past week, we had a rehearsal and I had to stop rehearsal and go back to the roots and start going back into the dialogue and being able to understand where the kids are, because the kids are different. I mean, even though we do have the Soul Children and we've been doing what we do, they're still going through the stuff that's happening now. They're still dealing with stress. They're still dealing with mental, things going on mentally, physically, spiritually, all kind of stuff. And a lot of times we take it for granted because we've been doing the Soul Children for so long that a lot of times we don't realize that we really have to start over every time you need to get a new group in. You got to get back to the roots. And so with these kids now, I'm realizing that I have to readjust. I can't do what I used to do in 1981. It doesn't work. Now I have to be, this is 2021. These kids are not the same. They ain't the same group. They don't think the same. They don't act the same. They don't even have the same parents.
Right. So let me ask you this. So let's talk about, and both of you just chime in, whoever, wants to, COVID, when kids were at home, going to school from at home, when they returned and when your kids went back to school, did you notice, was there any noticeable difference in their mindset and stuff from having been locked up pretty much?
Absolutely.
What was that like? What was it like when they came back?
They're more stressed. We've dealt with a lot of suicidal tendencies. Oh. Like in the Soul Children, people wouldn't believe it, but we had 4 that attempted in the last year. Oh. But I guess the good thing about the Soul Children is that there's always the ability. There's a freedom in the Soul Children that they can literally talk about it and discuss it. So that's what we have been able to create, that atmosphere and that family atmosphere to be able to discuss when you're dealing with something. And so we've had 4 of them that attempted. 4 of them, 2 of them were put in the hospital and literally switched from hospital to hospital. And that was in the last year. I mean, within the last year. Yeah. But they came, they talked about it, they admitted it, and they realized that they needed to go back and go back to their roots, to say, hey, I need God in my life. I need the Spirit of God in my life, and I need family, because even with the Soul Children, they're children, they're their peers. So they need to, if a peer can feel comfortable among his peers, to be vulnerable enough to share what they're going through, and they're not laughed at, and they're not criticized or ridiculed or whatever. It gives them ability to deal with some stuff in a different kind of way.
Absolutely. I'm so glad to hear that. We're going to have one breakout session, but 4 different choices for the kids that day. It'll be one of the last activities. And one of those rooms is going to be an app and a social media site. Amity and Harmony are coming together just to give kids options when they're trying to work their way to the adults to speak about something like depression, shaming, bullying. And so I'm so excited that you said that, because that's what I was feeling and that's what I was hearing. So hitting the bell on that. Dr. Chip, this will be the last round here, but tell us, what about when your kids came back to Southland? Does any of what Dr. Whitman says resonate over there?
So, them coming back to Southland is just like them coming back to Harlan or Walter Payton or wherever the case may be, and even schools around the nation. There were 2 years of learning loss here. You had schools that were really trying to do their best in terms of equipping homes with Chromebooks and laptops and iPads and all that thing. And then you had the teachers who were trying to really do their best to teach in a virtual world, something they'd never done before,
right.
While at the same time taking care of their children at home, or their husband or their loved one, whatever case may be. So you had a real severe mental shift. And if we put it in the spiritual world, it was really a spiritual mindset as well that really took place, that really affected not only our children, but our teachers too. So we have our seniors here in the building, and I was just looking at some of them yesterday, and they were just doing little silly things and things like that. And I said, you all are acting like you all are freshmen, but I have to remember they hadn't been in the school building since they were sophomores.
See,
so they're really at a different place mentally and psychologically than I expected them to be. So I have to understand that. And when I talk to the staff and to the teachers, I have to say, we have to remember, we're trying to reverse 2 years of stuff that has been put in on them, where they had to be at home. They couldn't go out to the movies. They couldn't go out to eat. They couldn't go out to anything. Everything was tainted, So there was a lot of things that just happened. They couldn't go see their grandmothers. Some of them were very relentless about not coming over to the house. Don't let them come over. We were scared. It created a spirit of fear in this world. And so a lot of people just kind of resorted into their own little private space of protecting themselves. It was a space of hibernation. It was a space of holding me, because we created a place where I'm the only one I have. I can't go out and see my mother. I can't go out and see, so it came back with the students as well. So we're trying to reverse all of that. And I applaud the teachers. I want to just applaud all of the teachers, not just here at Southland, but all of the teachers who were asked to continue on through all of this. We never gave them a break. We never gave our administrators a break. We were always at the ready telling them what they needed to do. Get this child on. Make sure they're online. Make sure this. And we never gave our teachers a break. So I want to applaud all of the teachers.
Amen. Yes.
Who actually suffered in silence as well. So it's been really rough. You saw the uptick in carjackings. You saw it in youth violence. You saw it in youth suicide. You see it in youth, just a whole bunch of things that are going on. It's because of the space that they had, because there was no direction. Our SPED kids who needed resources and things like that to help them understand how to read, how to write, they were no longer there. Some of our special education children require paraprofessionals to sit with them in classrooms to help understand what's going on at the board where the instructor is. Yes, we didn't have that. They didn't have that. So what do they resort to? What they know. And what is it that they know? They know street behavior. They know disrespect. They know stealing. They know carjacking. They know this and that. They know. And then when they don't know anything, they say, they know I don't want to live no more. So then they try to kill themselves. So we have had a lot of that to do. So we're not in a good place right now. We're in a place of restoration.
There you go.
Really understand that. We have to understand what it really means to restore. And that restoration, it takes a period of time, Lauren, as a former and delivered drug addict, what restoration means.
Ooh, okay? Lord Jesus,
it takes time to get there, but by the grace of God, we can all get there.
There it is. Listen, you all, there it is. I'm so grateful for today. I'm so grateful. You all are getting a peek behind the window, behind the curtain, if you will, to the people that are there every day. I look at teachers and educators just like I do firemen and doctors, first responders. The children in our world are our greatest resource. They are inheriting everything we messed up and everything we did right, all at the same time. So I want you all to understand that the power of we, like I said, straight from the gate, is an anointed experience, and we need you to do your part. You can donate, you can help, you can show up. You can give a kid a word of encouragement. You can give a kid a prayer. You can give a kid a hug. The key word in all of this is give. Same way someone did when you needed it. I want to thank both of you, Dr. Chip and Dr. Walt. Thank you so much. I cannot wait for the 28th of April for us to be together celebrating all these wonderful youth leaders and doing anything we can within those 6 or 7 hours to give them something that hopefully they will never forget. Thank you so much. I'm so proud of both of you, and I'm so honored to know you both. And for all of you out there, listen, I'll meet you tomorrow morning, God willing, right out on the front porch again for another illuminated conversation. And who is it? Oh, a first timer tomorrow. I have someone here who's going to talk about, he's bipolar, and he has changed his life, and he's ready to change yours through story. Join us tomorrow. Gilbert Rodriguez from California will be here. But in the meantime, get out there today. Won't you please be the difference you want to see in the world? Be the blessing you'd like to receive. I'm Lauren Michaels Harris. I'll see you tomorrow morning for another episode of Bathrobe Moments. Bye-bye. Have a great day, all.
Thanks.
Show me your soul. Baby, I'll show you mine. Show me your soul. Honey, it's way past time.